Hi, Jim here, and this is The Honest Filmmaker. This week we've got a special update from Cannes from friend of the pod, Mark Hampton. Now, Mark's been over there. He did a report for us last year that was really interesting. Unfortunately, Mark didn't get much time to put video together, because if you follow him on socials, you can see he was very busy in Cannes. Lots of meetings and lots of parties to go to, but he did catch up with Linda and Michael from Indie Rights. So this is a really good conversation if you're interested in Indie Rights' model, how they work with filmmakers, and some of the common questions that Mark asked them that filmmakers want to know the answer to. I have a film with Indie Rights. It's called The Apocalypse Box, which you can check out. It's on Amazon and Tubi at the moment. And also at the end of this chat, Mark also gives us a couple of tips for being at Cannes. Enjoy.
Hello, it's Mark Hampton for the Honest Filmmaker podcast from the Cannes Film Festival. So if you're a filmmaker and you've got a film you're trying to get out into the world, this is what you're up against. In the market, you will find walls and walls and walls of posters for endless movies with people you've never heard of, names you've never heard of, but they're out there, and this is what you have to compete with. This is the wall for Indie Rights. This is just a tiny fraction of what their stuff is. I'm going to go and talk to Michael and Linda now and find out a bit more. What is Indie Rights' model? How do you work?
Indie Rights is a distribution company. We are transparent with our filmmakers. We do an 80-20 split for the first dollar that comes in. We pay quarterly. Our business model is we don't charge the filmmakers any expenses. So everything here, we pay for everything to come to the market. And we go to the American film market, we go to Cannes, and we started going to MIP. And we're as transparent as we can possibly be. We try to give our filmmakers, as much information to help them with distribution. And anything else you can add to that?
We're global. We're direct with all of the premium platforms, which are performing globally, like Amazon and Google Play and YouTube Movies and Tubi and Pluto, and so that's if you go, you don't need a sales agent if you work with us because we are global. So that's really important. And our initial term is only 3 years, which is great because a lot of distributors want 10, 15-year contracts, right? So we know that you're going to want to stay with us. So we have a 3-year contract that rolls over automatically, and people don't leave.
Amazing. So what is the process if you're a filmmaker that's completed an indie movie and you want to get it onto Indie Rights? What's your kind of deliverables list? What do you ask of the filmmakers?
Well, a filmmaker will go to our website and submit the film. We have a distribution tab at the very top. You can read about us. You can read about our contract. We have everything as transparent as possible on our website. You'll submit the film to us, all the metadata that we would use to submit it to platforms. We're highly selective of what we take. So we probably get 10 films a day. We take maybe 2 or 3 a week. And we take all those genres.
So the films that you accept and reject, is it a kind of technical quality, or is it a storytelling ability?
It's everything. Yeah. It's everything. Technical, it needs to be a film that can work in the marketplace, because we're competing with studio films now. We're not just, you can't just put up any old film. And also our partners, they want us to accept the best films. We can't, when we give a film to Tubi, they take everything we give them. Yeah. Because we're highly selective in what we take.
And same with Amazon. And so we only have one requirement for the feature and the trailer, and that's a 1920 by 1080 ProRes 422 HQ stereo file. Some people want to give us 5.1 or 4K. You can optionally give that to us in case in the future we can use those, but right now that's not what the platforms want. So we must get that really good HD quality film. And so also I think when it comes to what we're looking for, we have all genres on our, in our catalog. So we're not genre specific, and we see successes and failures in all of the genres. But what's important is that, one, you have to have a great story. Two, you have to have really good acting. There's nothing that pulls people out of a film quicker than bad acting. And you have to have good production value, and that's not just visual, but also audio. And the thing that we see that's the weakest in most low-budget indie films is bad lighting. And people think because they have a good camera that it's going to look okay, but we see a lot of movies that are very flat looking, and it's because they're not lighting. And lighting is critical, so it's really important that you pay attention to lighting.
That's great to know, because that leans into my next question, which was going to be, what are the mistakes that you see filmmakers making when they submit? So you've just mentioned, obviously you need great performances, you need to make it cinematic, you need to light things and give it depth and kind of richness
story.
Visually and story. Are there any other things you could say to filmmakers to be like, if you're going to submit to us, do this?
You need to have the number one thing after you have a great film and you've got the great film, you have to have a good poster. And so many filmmakers they spend the money on a film and then they don't think about their poster. And the only way you're going to get anybody to click on your poster to watch your film is the poster has to be clickbait material.
The thumbnail's
It's got to be.
Yeah.
The other thing is filmmakers need to think about what their audience is. They need to make a niche. Films do better if they have an idea of who their audience is. And then the filmmaker also needs to have an audience for their work, or start building an audience for their work. And don't build an audience just for one film, build the audience for as a filmmaker or producer.
So, for example, every filmmaker ought to have a YouTube channel that is based on themselves, because they're the brand.
Yeah.
No one knew who Quentin Tarantino was when he started out. But now if you hear, oh, Quentin has a new film, you're going to go see it just because it's him, because he's built a body of work. So you want a YouTube channel that features you as the filmmaker, or it can be your production company, so it could be one or the other. And then every film you make will become a section on that channel. So the next time you make a film, you have an audience that's waiting for you. And you don't have to start from scratch every time. So don't go making separate YouTube channels, Instagram channels, TikTok channels for each film. No. The only place where you would make a separate separate page would be on Facebook.
Facebook, okay. So from your perspective, what do you see the filmmakers doing when they're really successful on indie rights? When they make the platform really work for them? What are they doing for their own? Obviously, they've got to take care of their own marketing, publicity. What are the ones who get it right? What
they connect with their audience and they work with us with marketing. That's one of the best things to do.
We really try to educate our filmmakers. We give them a lot of resource material on how to set up all of their social media. Social media marketing is the best. There are groups on social media for any subject matter. You can find a group. Yeah. We also have a lot of our we have a private group on Facebook of all of our filmmakers, over 800 of them now. And they support each other with reviews, and it's, I think, really, really important that they build communities out on the web. We have one filmmaker that has now built a support group for indie films. It's on Facebook, it's open to the public, and it's close to 1 million followers already. And so all of our filmmakers put their films there and are getting huge exposure. So building community an audience is super, super important.
Fantastic. And so are there any particular sort of genres or types of story that you are seeing doing really well in the last 12 months in the current climate?
Everything, there's hits and misses in every single genre, so I don't really think we have one. I like thrillers, those are always do well.
And action.
Thriller and action always does well. Documentary world, I'd say
goes up and down.
Goes up and down. Your travel docs do well, or
food.
Food, health docs do well, but it's always that's always hard. Documentaries are hard.
Cool. And I guess finally, if a filmmaker wants to come to Indie Rights and work with your platform, what do they need to do? Where do they need to go?
Just submit to us on indierights.com. You can follow us on Instagram and our YouTube channel. We have a large YouTube channel.
But any completed feature can be submitted on indierights.com.
Yeah, don't submit it until it's totally complete,
because
then we'll review it and get back to you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. When you come to Cannes, you obviously need somewhere to stay, even if it's just for a few hours while you're sleeping in between your meetings and your networking. And there's lots of ways you can do it. You can find yourself an apartment close to the center. It's quite pricey, you got to book it early. You can find yourself something further out of town and you want to nip in, but it means getting a train or a bus or a taxi. And when you're trying to get back somewhere like that at 3 in the morning, it can get quite expensive. So there's lots of other things you can do. But this year, we, myself and my friends, have got one of these. And we are staying on a boat, and that means that we are literally a stone's throw away from the Palais. So the convenience is fantastic. And if you go together with a few friends, it's probably not any more expensive than getting a little apartment. During the festival in the Marche, the trades come out every single day telling you what's going on, what's buying, what's selling, all the good stuff. So if you want the industry insight, just grab them first thing in the morning. Now, if you're at Cannes and you haven't got a ticket to a gala, but you want that red carpet photograph, just come down to the barrier. So that's it for Cannes 2025. A few insights from the Marche, a few parties, a few boats. Got myself a poster, a couple of souvenirs, and it's time to go home and, you know, sleep. Have fun.
I hope that was useful. If you're interested in watching The Apocalypse Box, you can catch it on Tubi and Amazon. Mark's actually in the film. He appears in the film acting in a role. He's actually an actor and a producer as well as a director. So check the film out, and I'll see you on the next one.